how's it going? I am Law Smith. This is the Sweat Equity Podcast. We are doing this last minute on a Monday afternoon because we've both like hit a little bit of a skid as far as planning, booking guests, but that's okay. I like as the Nerdist calls the hostful. Sitting to my left, your right on the dial is the Lions Purr of Caleb Fuddy.
What is happening?
And in years past, I'd probably just say, screw it. Let's not do an episode. We're not feeling it. But you got to jack yourself up for things you don't want to do a lot of the times.
That's right.
Here's one thing you should do. If you like this, go on iTunes, subscribe, rate, review. That's the cheat code to get us up the podcast ladder. That helps us out a lot. A lot of people have been telling me they've been doing it, and that's great. We want to be on that front page one day. I think that's the goal. We got to set goals for this podcast, so that's one of them. The other one is I like constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Now
we love constructive criticism.
Now let's talk about what that actually is. I like when someone tells me I have a booger hanging out.
Yeah.
Like, that's good.
Yeah, that's constructive.
You got a bat in the hanger. Take care of that.
Yeah. Tissue or no tissue?
Whatever's around. Usually a Chipotle napkin in my Jeep.
I go bare hand.
Oh, okay.
You know why? Because it needs to be done right then and there. It can't wait.
Because you look like a lumberjack. For those that are watching on YouTube, we'll have this posted up. We need to get the video going. That's another goal we've been talking about. And by all means, constructive criticism, great. I love the people that have been listening to this. And maybe they don't do the comments or email us at Caleb@TocoWorks, TOCOWORKS, or Law@TocoWorks, LAWTOCOWORKS.com. You can hit us up with that, but I have friends text me, hey, man, really enjoyed that episode with Cliff. My buddy, comedian and friend of mine, Mike Morris, said, hey, man, love what you're doing. It's inspiring, which I'm like, thank you, but I can't take a compliment, so I just left it dangling. But he was
I like your shirt. Thanks.
He was like, two things, man. One, your mic was so low the last episode that it was hard to hear you, and that's great. And the other was you may be listening to Corolla a little much, and you're borrowing some of his phrases. And that's great. That's comics. A lot of comedians, I do stand up for those that are just joining this podcast and don't know us from anything.
Welcome.
It's one of those things where comedians help each other be like, hey, man, that's a riff. You're riffing, but that's Patton Oswalt. Yeah. And you're like, fuck. All right, well, okay, I won't do that ever again.
You're like, it's a compliment, right? That's a compliment.
Well, it's good. It's one of those things. Now, here's bad constructive criticism. People think it's good. Yeah. It's I listened to the podcast, and I didn't like how you ask questions. And that's it. It's like,
Thanks for just taking a jab.
Yeah, that's not.
Appreciate that.
It's stuff like that. Like, ooh, I've got my new Banana Republic shirt I'm wearing. And it's like, hey, you should really not wear that. That's not a good constructive criticism.
That's just the start of talking shit.
That's
what that is.
There's a way to kind of, you don't have to manipulate people to get them to understand what you're trying to say. But at the same time, it's like, I work on a lot of projects right now where I have a lot of branding stuff, and I'm getting, sometimes you're the project manager, and sometimes in these branding things I'm working on, I'm just the do boy. Yeah. The Tocobaga Consulting is just doing the work. Yeah. We're not doing the project management. Mm-hmm. And I'll give iterations, and it's like, I don't like those colors. And it's like, well, what colors do you like? Like, give me some direction. You can direct me in a way. And so that's something that's been irking me, but I like it when my friends, I get off stage and they're like, hey, here's a tag. I think you should go in this direction with that kind of premise. Or someone's listening to this and it's like, hey, I think you should get this guest on there. Yep. Or I think if you guys don't talk over each other, that's something we try to self-police. Yeah. But at the same time, we get lazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, you might be sitting there and saying, well, what are you guys getting at? Well, what we kind of want to do this episode, and we're going to get into some juicy stuff here as well, and some business related and kind of some business self-help stuff that we've been keeping an eye on that we want to share with you guys, that if you don't know about already, you will know by the end of the episode. But what we want to do is we want your feedback. We've been getting a lot of feedback, like Law said, from a lot of people listening, some people who aren't friends, some who are friends. But we don't care if we know you or not. We want to get better at this for you guys. And we are, I think, man, we're on episode 27 now.
Yeah.
I think is right.
Yeah.
So
they call that the Eddie George. Yeah.
is that okay? So we're at the Eddie George, and I think it's one of those things where we want to kind of check ourselves at the door a little bit, and we want to have some transparency with you guys, and we want to know some of the things that so far you guys have liked, have not liked, what you want to see more of, if there's certain types of guests we can get and aim for to help our audience grow, because that's one of the reasons we do this. We don't need to just hear ourselves talk. We do that enough. We want to try to talk about some things that can help you guys. If there's any topics out there that we don't cover that we should, or that we should have a guest come in who can maybe cover them better than us, let us know about it, because we want to help you guys kind of fill you up on what you're looking for. So that's kind of what the beginning message of this episode's kind of about. And yeah.
Yeah. And we wanted to talk about there's a lot of leaders out there and what to follow. And a lot of what I tell a lot of my clients it's not original thoughts in most of the time.
Yeah.
Because of two reasons. One, I can give original thoughts on strategy and everything, but being 31 and telling people how to run their business on just a gut feeling it's not always applicable. I want to, I'll use data-driven decisions if I can. I'll try a hypothesis. If a lot of marketing is hypothesis testing. It's not 100%.
Yeah.
You go, hey, I think I can get this many people in your restaurant by doing social media management.
But then I don't mean to interrupt you, but
go.
The second half of that is, are you working for a client who's going to stay to see if that doesn't work, what adjustments can be made? I think that's a big thing when it comes to a lot of marketing. If you're a small marketing business, or if you're a small business looking to outsource some marketing, you'll have somebody say, "Here's the plan we've laid out for your company specifically."
Yeah.
And they say, "Okay, cool. Go and execute." And really, it's all about execution. Well, if what they execute, the results don't come back how you wanted, do they get the chance to correct? To make the adjustment to get the results we were looking for,
right?
Or do people just say, hey, we're out, we're going to go another direction? And I think getting that chance to correct it, I look at it from a sports standpoint, obviously. But in baseball, a guy comes into the league, he's the flavor of the month, he's the hot thing coming up, and he comes in, and look at when Bryce Harper first came into the league. The guy could not be stopped. It was unbelievable. And then the league, the pitchers make an adjustment,
right? And
he cools off, and then it's up to him. He gets that chance now. No one says, "Oh, it's a fluke, the guy can't play." He gets a chance to make the adjustment back to the league. It's the same thing with marketing.
And he was touted as the LeBron of, the Michael Jordan, or whatever hyperbole you want to use. He was hitting home runs that were crazy when he was like 17.
Yeah. It was just an unbelievable kind of come up for him. And but that, I say that to kind of get to this point.
Yeah.
In business, a lot of times I don't see a lot of the smaller agencies that take on marketing projects get those chances. Get the chance you get your results from what you executed.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, if that wasn't spot on, then you're gone.
Well, there's you're right. And
right.
There's two things about that. It's I look at it as internal marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I'm on retainer with clients, I always try to go, hey, isn't this great? How great I am.
Don't you like this new shirt?
Right. You bought this. No, I'm saying, like, you have to keep pushing your value. And it's hard.
Absolutely.
It's a hard line to go, hey, I'm really awesome. Look at all the stuff I'm doing. Because you need to keep proving your value. So I used to do this a lot. Like, when I worked with a really small air purifier company, I would always go, hey, this is I would always push, like, I had to do our PR and like de facto, because it was so small that it was just like,
right,
I'll do it. Whatever you need me to
Law
do,
can write.
I'll figure it out. No, it's not even about that. I could
Right.
just schmooze at these trade shows and talk to. It was a good product, so that's easy. When the product's good, when the service is really good, it's easy to kind of try to get it get it some recognition. People liked it. And my thing was like, hey, I'm going to use that. Remember when I got y'all in Cigar Aficionado? Remember when I got you in Wall Street Journal and I'm not a PR person?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it like that, but I try to remind them like.
Yeah, but there's little, you can nudge it.
Sure. It would more or less be with a third party coming in and they would ask like, what's going on? And it's like, they'd ask how is the business structured? And it'd be like, well, we're a small business. It's mom and pop, but we wear a lot of hats and that's fine. That's the fun of this. And am I a PR person? No, but I got us in Wall Street Journal and I got us in
Is that a true story?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Look up Rabbit Air and you'll see you'll find some articles.
That's pretty
I think
neat.
in Dwell too magazine. I got him in like 12 things. I got him on Mark Maron's WTF as well.
Really?
Got a shout out. Yeah.
Wow.
Listen to the Jonathan Franklin episode. So
interesting. Yeah,
that's just
cool.
That was more of that I'll just figure it out kind of football mentality I had.
Right.
But at the same time, they needed to know that, look, no one else that they had was going to do that. No one else was going to go out of their way to do that for them. And I went above and beyond what I was supposed to do. The other part of this is, especially in marketing when you're an agency, is a lot of you will work for people, and this hasn't been my experience, but I know it's always looming, is there's always the client that thinks they don't need you. And so you need to have this clear line of like, well, if they go, we think we got it.
Yeah.
We'll take it from here after your term's done.
Yep.
Then, you need to be irreplaceable kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so there's a fine line between that. A lot of people, like, social media is everybody thinks they know it, but they don't really know it.
Well, yeah. I think there's, you can kind of be so good or do such a good job.
Right.
That when the people that aren't really paying attention, they just see the results. They say, cool, well, if law can do that, I can do that. Therefore, we don't need law.
Right.
And then they dive in, and it's kind of, it becomes a mess. And then it ruins some of the things you had set up for a little bit of the growth within the plan. Things can go astray so quickly at that point.
Yeah.
And you may lose that business. They may seek somebody else instead of going back to you as a pride thing. That happens. I've seen that happen a lot.
Uh-huh.
And so, I think that it gets to that point where you talk about making yourself like irreplaceable or invaluable. You have to almost find a way to not create more work for yourself as in busy work, but you have to push growth sometimes from an outsider's position in the company.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, this is even if you're doing that day job. You're one of the listeners that's doing that day job. You got your eye on something else, after work or down the line. You want to open a boutique dress store or something like that. Dress store?
So many dress stores now.
Ladies apparel, whatever it is. I think of any business. You want to run a coffee shop one day, and you're stuck in the cubicle, and you're listening to this while you're doing VLOOKUPs in Excel right now.
Yeah, it's
one of those things where, you need to be irreplaceable at that job first.
Yeah.
Then, because my whole theory was no one can talk shit to me because I'm so good at what I do, that if something comes up, if I ever got an audition with stand-up, that I've built up enough credit of being so good.
You could just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how I've always thought about it. Like, because I did stand up at night and, you have to travel a bunch and you never know when you get a big break. I always thought about it. All right. A lot of people are like, give 110. I was like, no, more than that. Like, way more.
Nah.
No, way more. Cause it's like, I want to build up. And I think about this with, like life credit almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like build up I do this with my wife. Like I'm gonna build up some credit with my wife. My wife. But like I'll be proactive and clean the house or something like that. So
you can
I
go
know,
play
like,
one-handed PBR football there.
Yeah, those were the days.
Yeah, right.
But I'll do that so I can come in the office maybe. That's how sad it's gotten. Right. To come in
Just
the
so
office.
I mean,
look at this place. It's blank. If you're watching on YouTube, you're like, Jesus, are they in a bunker? What are they doing?
What juvenile detention meeting room are they in?
Yeah, and so, or it'll even get to like go ahead and be proactive so I can go, to the gym or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be that way when we have a kid in 4 months. So my thing is like, I know I'm kind of getting down a windy road with this, but ultimately be irreplaceable with whatever job you're doing.
Yeah.
And if you have a client agency relationship, be irreplaceable that way.
Mm-hmm.
Explain what you're doing, but don't give them the formula.
Exactly.
And if you're at work and you're like, I'm a singer-songwriter at night and I'm an accountant during the day.
Yeah.
Be the best accountant you can be so that when stuff comes up, they're never going to be like, well, his mind's always in being a musician and it's never in this job.
Right.
Because most people I know that go, I'm getting through this job, they get fired a lot.
Yeah. And that's that's a whole nother thing too, is you can make a huge impact in your own life by having a 9-to-5.
Yeah.
Because having that 9-to-5, you're going to make at least some sort of money. It may not be the money you want, but there's your motivation right there. There's a little bit of your spite right there, enough to get your motor going to start pursuing the things that you're passionate enough about that you maybe can really go make some serious money doing as well.
Yeah.
And it takes those sort of things, but you can't just go out and go to your job and be like, man, I really hate this. I hate doing this. Because no one's going to give you an opportunity for anything. I have a sales gig that I do as my 9-to-5, and then on the weekends and at night I do recruiting videos with the Scouting Block. And if you've listened to the podcast before,
and guys, listen out there, selling fleshlights 9-to-5 is really tough. Door to door, you think those things just sell online? They are tough.
They don't sell themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta really beat down the doors, no pun intended, to sell those fleshlights. So
yeah.
This episode brought to you by Fleshlight.
You're
gross.
And so it's one of those things where you I try to make connections. I try to do my day job. When I'm out there doing that, I try to build leads for my company that I've started.
Yeah.
By doing that. And I've actually gone into offices, started talking to people, and I found out, oh yeah, your son plays baseball. It's great. Well, in the back of my mind, I'm going, they may not be able to help me here today, right now, with what I'm doing with my 9-to-5, but I can help their kid get recruited. That can get me a couple extra bucks. That can also help me build my company. That can also help me build a relationship for my 9-to-5.
Yeah.
And I've gone that backdoor route using my, essentially, let's call it second job, my company that I've built. Actually, no, I don't want to give it that stepchild name of a second job because it's something that I've put a lot more into than that.
It is, though. I mean, it's a job.
It kind of is.
Look, my
definitely a job.
My criteria for I mean, this is kind of a job. This is a tertiary job for you and I. It's one of those things where, do we want to come in all the time? No, but we really like doing it. We're really satisfied by the results.
I got a good way to put it because I've felt this way about a lot of things. And there is commitment there, but I think a lot of people can relate to this in one level or the next, some point in their life, where it's one of those things you're driving to go do it, or you're getting off the couch to go, and you're just kind of dog cussing yourself. But then when you get there, you're like, yeah, this is why I got up off the couch. Like, I enjoy doing this.
Yeah.
So I think it can be one of those things at times. But so it is a secondary job, but it's got more potential than that. That's what I like. It's not like, no knock on anyone that worked at Cold Stone. I never melted all the ice cream in the front freezer, so
what's that?
I'll just say that. But
is that what you have to do?
No, but that's what I did. I did work at Cold Stone. I did melt all the ice cream in the front, like, display freezer one day. I didn't get employee of the month.
I've never been there, so I don't know.
Yeah, if we want to turn this into a Cold Stone episode, we can. I mean, we can. I got things to say.
I'm over 200 pounds right now, so I'm feeling it.
We may have to do one of these from Cold Stone. I'm banned from it, so we can't. But,
okay.
So, but it's getting back to it. It becomes where you can start to work the system a little bit. You've got a 9-to-5. You've got kind of a secondary job. You've got a business you're starting. Start to make your leads and your calls things that you're doing every day at work.
Yeah.
And go out on that pattern and build your secondary job while you're working your primary job. And that's kind of what I've done with the Scouting Block, and I've found that it's worked really, really well. I mean, that story of making that sale for the scouting block and then building a relationship for my sales job and kind of going back door that way. That's happened on multiple occasions. And I think that if people are just, because a lot of people sit there and they go, man, I don't have the time. I don't have the time to do this on nights and weekends. And we've had the time discussion 1,000 times where you do have the time.
It's worth reiterating.
It's up to you. If maybe you don't go to sleep at 10, 11, or even 12, maybe you go to bed at 1 or 2 and you find those extra hours to get something done. A lot of times that's not even necessary. Maybe you just don't watch crap TV. You don't binge watch something for an evening.
Maybe you don't watch The Family.
Yeah, maybe you start waking up a little earlier. God forbid you're up freaking before 7.
Or maybe you don't go out drinking. It's a big issue with our age group.
Yeah,
You're 28. I'm 31, and it's like, I might need to take a break off this completely for about a month because it's like, man, I wish I would have just woke up a couple hours earlier and and you start feeling like crap after a while, and and you got to take care of yourself, all that stuff.
Yeah, the health thing's a totally other, it's another topic.
So we were talking about that off air before we started. What's going on with you? You're doing a diet, a little bit of efficiency, a little bit of getting married.
It started as like a joke of I'm gonna go on the wedding diet thing, and but I really just cleaned up my eating, and like 2 weeks in, I was like, man, this is easy. Like, this is great.
You came in, you're like, I feel better.
Yeah,
I feel good. Like, just it doesn't hurt to wake up.
I'm down. I'm not down 25 anymore. I don't know what I'm down now, but I was down 25 pounds up until like last week, and I was explaining to Law before we started the podcast today that I got off the let's call it diet, or I just started eating like whatever I wanted for a few days, and I immediately got sick. It was like the most ridiculous thing. I had allergy attacks, snapped into like a fever, and it lasted like 3 or 4 days.
So what would you give up? Let's everybody know what you kind of just, what was your shift, and then what did you eat to kind of balloon out?
So I basically, I used to just eat everything. I used to just go to Chipotle and crush a burrito, and then I'd go and, if there was, pizza for dinner, great, I'll have 3 or 4 slices. If, where do you want to go eat? Oh, let's go to an Italian place. I'll get, chicken fettuccine Alfredo and 3 glasses of wine and all this stuff.
Yikes.
And now it has gotten to the point where it's like, all I want is chicken and vegetables. All I want is a good salad. All I want is, green tea and matcha, which is, if you don't know about matcha, you're just fooling yourself. Look it up.
I'm fooling myself. What's matcha?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Matcha is actually, it's green tea, but it's the leaves that are dried out and ground up into a powder. Mm-hmm. And like a serving of matcha has more caffeine than like I hate how the commercial, like a leading cup of coffee. No one knows what the hell a leading cup of coffee is.
Okay.
I guess we kind of get it, but it has
like, a Keurig cup, K-cup.
Yeah. It's just landfill coffee.
Yeah.
So, but it's got a ton of caffeine. It actually has been around like forever, and it's nicknamed like this. I think it's nicknamed the samurai drink, or like the drink of the samurai.
Okay.
Because apparently samurais used to take the ground leaves, not snort them or anything, but they just like put them in a drink, and they would drink it before they went into battle, and it would help them with concentration and focus. And I'll be honest, I've been drinking these for a while now. And
you've killed like 8 people.
It's crazy. It's crazy how much you can get done. But I feel it. It's almost like a mini Adderall boost.
Whoa.
So yeah, it really is. And I felt it a lot more when I first started drinking than I do now, but I still feel it. It kind of helps me get zoned in. It gives me a very calm energy where I'm not so when I have coffee, I usually have 2 or 3 cups a day. Yeah. And that's even on the quote unquote diet. And it's one of those things where like you get the palpitations going, you're like jittery. You can't like, I can't hone in when I'm on that like second or third cup. The first cup's good. The afternoon cup is no bueno for me. Mm-hmm. With this, I drink a cup of coffee in the morning, and then I drink one of these in the afternoon typically. And I'm good to go from, you don't hit that 2 or 3 o'clock wall where you crash. Yeah. And you're like just begging for a nap, or like 30 minutes, just like close your eyes and zone out. It's more of like, man, I want to keep going and doing stuff, and it's almost see how much you can get done in a day. It's really what it turns into, and sometimes it doesn't wear off in time for bed, so it really kind of messes up your sleep.
Now, I'm so gross at caffeine. You could give me something with a lot of caffeine, I'd still be able to go to sleep, which is probably a problem I need to fix. But
yeah, that's something with your levels.
Yeah, but for
sure.
you, or have you always been like coffee sensitive? Like coffee, I mean, maybe when I first started, I was thinking about it. I was like, I started drinking it 10 years ago when I had my first job at a mutual fund company, and then within a month it just wore off. It just became like just routine, and I'm like, that's probably not a good thing. I probably don't need that.
Yeah, I think that your body, I'd love to get like a professional advice on it. I think your body does kind of adapt to coffee a little bit.
Yeah.
And you can build like an immunity to it. But with coffee, it does one thing really, really well for me, and that's it wakes me up. So, and I mean in the morning.
Yeah.
Just the smell of it wakes me up. And that's kind of good. So I don't know. At that point, I think maybe it's even a mental factor that it's routine as well. I need to have my cup of coffee.
Get your morning poop on.
Yeah.
But for me, that's where I started, because it was like, all right, I got to get up like an hour and a half before work so I can have coffee, so I can take a deuce before work starts, because I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. You don't want to have to lift your feet up in the work stall.
It was funny. You know? I worked with probably like some of the brightest guys in the mutual fund world. One of my old bosses, who's now kind of a mentor or someone I can call if I get in trouble. He actually wrote my letter of recommendation when I did business school. He'd be the guy, the cool boss that in a very stuffy place, he'd be like, come in my office, I got something for you. And he just farted it up. And he'd be like, no, you have to stay in here. And I'm like, fuck, man, come on, Jeff. And so he'd walk in and he'd maybe notice, like, he's like, why do people, these are some of the smartest people, and they treat the bathroom like they're baboons. This is like insane. Like just dumps everywhere. It's like
a public, like,
the ladies' room I heard was the same, like just clogged up, and who gives a fuck? And it's always irked me since he brought that up. So Jeff Cornell, what up? But
brought to you by Jeff.
So I was thinking about this the other day, because I need to switch my game up. I'm having too much craft beer, and I'm not doing enough about it.
That's one of the things I cut out big time, because we'd come in here and we'd crack a couple craft beers for an episode, and
it was last episode. Is that what started it, or
no? So we had the engagement party last weekend, and so thanks
for the invite. Yeah,
I went. I didn't do the invites.
No,
I didn't do the invites. I went. So I set a goal. I said, all right, I have about like 5 or 6 weeks until the engagement party.
Okay.
Do this lifestyle change.
Sure.
Until then, you get a week off. The engagement party off, and then you're back on until the wedding.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna take my bachelor party off.
Okay.
Because my bachelor party will fall about a month before the wedding, and I'm gonna stay on it during that time as well. I'll have a couple of beers in there.
Okay.
And I'll obviously drink a little more, but I really just, man, cutting out beer. If you've ever seen me up until a few weeks ago or whatever, I'm just a really puffy guy. All that went away when I stopped drinking craft beer. Now I miss craft beer like crazy. It's probably one of the things I crave the most, because I love good craft beer.
Right.
But I've been so much aesthetically, I've been so much more pleasing to look at without craft beer, because I'm just not this puffy thing just walking around like you're just like, honey, move, he's gonna eat you. And I think that's what's helped lean me out so much since then. But yeah, and it's just it's a mental factor as well. When you eat better, you feel better. I was the first guy. I mean, we're talking a month and a half ago, that if you're like, man, if you just ate better, you'd feel better. I'd be like, dude, shut up. I'm gonna eat you. Shut up.
It's hard as shit.
It's not even that it's not that people can't do it. They just don't want to do it. They just don't. It's an effort thing. And I'm like, I'm putting in so much effort everywhere else. The one thing I want to do is like eat whatever I want. So
my thing about if trying to eat healthy and lose weight, it's to me, it's more about energy than anything.
Dude, it is such.
It's about being thoughtful, though.
It's the primary benefit is energy.
Yeah.
Like, and I would say this to anybody who's out there and they're like, man, I need to lose some weight. Don't look at it that way. Don't be determined by weight. Be determined by I need to eat better, and just do that, and you are going to feel better, and that will take you the rest of the way. I'm telling you now. And this isn't like a fat person's AA meeting, but it's one of those things where every single one of us can clean. Fat Anonymous.
Fatties.
It's just fat. It's one of those things where we can all improve in some way. And if we're talking about productivity, the number one thing I would start with is what you're putting in your body.
Yeah.
There's no question. And people are watching this right now. It's not like I'm sitting here trying to act like I'm 165 pounds and I'm ripped with a, 6-pack.
Mm-hmm.
But I can attest to what it does, and it works.
Yeah.
It works. That's the bottom line.
And I thought about it. I thought about it. It's about being thoughtful. So it's about kind of thinking ahead a little bit. So,
yeah.
My lunches are crazy. I eat at my desk most of the days. In the morning, I'm rushing out to get out for a meeting or come into the office. And it's one of those things, if I just kind of thought about it the day before or maybe the Sunday before a work week, and I have a buddy that grills all his food for the week on Sundays. And that's smart. Him and his wife.
Yeah, it's really smart.
It's smart. But it's thoughtful, and you have to think about what's coming ahead and knock it out. And just because a lot of the time you're eating at restaurants, and if you're eating at restaurants or you're eating on the fly at lunch, then it's
not possible to eat healthy successfully. It's not you.
Not only that, you can spend like $13 at lunch and not even have a drink with whatever you're having. In a lot of instances, you're kind of stuck. Most people have an hour.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's lame to bring a lunch into work. I get it. But at the same time, if you're having grilled chicken instead of having the Subway grilled chicken that has who knows what's in it, it's probably a lot better for you.
No, and it is. And that kind of to attest to that, I always think of this one friend in particular who, when I have been eating better, and we were in a bowling league together. And this guy I'd see him in the parking lot, and he'd just be crushing like grilled chicken and a little bit of brown rice, like in his car before bowling, just like inhaling it. And I'm like, dude, like you're going to be all right if you miss like your protein intake window. You'll survive. Like you'll still bowl good. Like we'll be okay. And I would just always give him crap. Just like, he'd be in the gym for like 2 hours. And I was just like, that's a little excessive. Like do you like want an award for working out? And I would just give him shit like nonstop. And I just remember being like, yeah, but he's super fucking good at everything he does. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where you start to look at other people's tendencies.
Yeah.
And you start to take some things from them. And when I started eating better, I remember just like, kind of reaching out and just being like, like this is kind of why you do some of this stuff, because you have more energy, your brain works better, you want to do more things. And so yeah, kind of like the joke was jokes on me the last 27 3/4 years.
So talk about you're in that that you went off the diet, let's say.
Yeah.
And you feel like crap, and now
I almost immediately got sick. Like it was one of those things, and a lot of people listen to this, and you can start a vaccine riot if you want, or go that route.
Okay.
Let's not. But I don't think it's just one of those things where there is just so much shit in what we eat that if you're not eating clean, you're eating a bunch of shit.
Right.
Even eating chicken and vegetables, you're still ingesting just crap.
Right.
Preservatives and all those, those sort of things, and, flavorings and colorings and all that crap. But yeah, we had the engagement party, and I was actually all right during the engagement party, but the few days after that, like, you're hungover the next day. I'm like, bagel, another half bagel, and we'll throw the other half on top. 2 bagels.
I'll get a beer to get out of this hangover.
Oh yeah. And we did. And, Thai food for dinner again, all this kind of stuff. And a couple days in, I was just like, God, I feel terrible, dude. I was like, I feel awful.
Mm-hmm.
Friday came around. Today's Monday for those of you keeping score at home. Friday came around, and I just full-blown allergy attack that turned into a fever that lasted, I'm not kidding, and I worked my day job the whole day Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just going into offices, and they're just like, do you need a seat? Like, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with you? And
You're like, get the coffee. I'm a closer.
yeah, I'm like, please get me a cheeseburger. And so I went through this stretch over the weekend where I was like, this is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Like, this is seriously terrible. And it just made me so badly want to go back into my routine.
Yeah.
And be like, now I know, like, or at least I feel like I need this. I'm like kind of dependent on this like healthy, clean eating type thing. And it's not as annoying as people think it is. Like, you look at people like my buddy who I'm like, oh, this jackass is eating like chicken and brown rice again, like in his car. Like, you're like, get over yourself kind of deal.
Uh-huh.
Just try it. I mean, I know people that all they eat is fast food. That's all they eat.
Oh, so this will kind of come a little bit into what we talked about at the beginning.
Yeah.
Become your own marketing hypothesis test, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be the best person you can be at your job.
Yeah.
And you want to radiate. Good, positive energy can go a long way.
Very long way.
Like, if you're...
you don't even have to do anything productive. Just be positive, and people will keep you around.
Oh, I have people that are...
I mean, there's a life hack for you.
Well, I have people that I hire that are good at what they do, but I can't be around them because they're a bummer. And it's like, okay, well, go work on that over there. And
in your rain cloud.
I might not use you again because this next project will be kind of collaborative. We're going to have to spend a lot of time with each other. And I fake it. I have to fake it to myself. Like, come on, let's get fired up. This is fun. And that positive energy will help you in a way. And I know this sounds like marketing douchebagism, but in a way, if you're doing that 9 to 5, you're in an office, and I got called out for this when I was younger at that said mutual fund company. It's like, do you enjoy even like getting up and being here? It's like, no. And I tried to change that around. I was like, okay, what do I like? Oh, okay, I can get into this investing theory kind of stuff, and kind of got excited about that. Kind of faked myself into, hey, let me help you with this other thing after hours.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me more into it, and people were like, okay, it seems like you want to, get more involved, and that became a better environment, making it positive. So this whole eating kind of goes from inside out, where let's see that hypothesis. I'll try something for a month. What's today? The 9th.
Yeah.
I'll do something where I'll eat a lot healthier, and I'll do a report on June 9th.
Yeah.
Or whatever episode we have right then.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see how it goes. I'll go super healthy and just see.
You know what the crazy thing is though, that to me, I'm very like full, almost like extremist when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, like no cheating, no nothing, and that is so. You're just setting yourself up for failure.
Yes.
So miserably.
Yeah.
I found that like when I cheated, I didn't give myself a cheat. I did like a week, and I was like, okay, I feel a lot better, but I need a little Thai food. I need a little, I need some noodles. I need like something. And I couldn't even finish it.
Yeah.
When I could eat 2, maybe 3 like pad thais before. I mean, it was like insane. So, and it was one of those things, like when I cheat, it'd be like with like one of those like crappy diet ice cream sandwiches. And I would just eat half and be like, I don't even want this anymore.
Right.
Like, and I wanted to just keep eating good food and keep going and build more and more, that it almost became it was definitely a challenge the whole time, but you almost want to challenge yourself with other things.
Yep.
And I think like my fiance started to like notice more stuff, or like she'd have to wake me up in the morning to like go like get me to work out.
Yeah.
And it just became like I'd start waking her up, because I'm just like, I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to get to the gym. I want to knock it out, because as soon as I get back from the gym, I walk my dog, and that's like when my day starts. I can start being productive. I can start going to, doing stuff for work, making money, doing all this kind of stuff. It's just by getting all that out of the way.
Yeah.
And it felt so great to be like, it's 7 a.m. I've done 2.5 hours worth of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a great feeling.
Once you get on that, like, it's a shitty first week, and then you get on that routine, it's awesome. It's and it lets
it really is good.
I'm thinking a similar route as well. Get up earlier, let your brain breathe by doing some exercise, and that gets me in the mode to kind of pick up the whole day. And now I'm looking down the barrel of a schedule that's going to have a newborn down the line. And from my understanding is that's kind of the only time you'll be able to kind of do something like that.
And,
So
and you're probably going to be up early and probably sleep deprived for a little while anyways.
yeah,
So you may as well do something
I already
productive
am.
while you're up. You
Oh
know?
yeah, I already sleep like shit, and part of it's probably because I'm not getting good discipline of healthy eating mixed with boozing, mixed with working too late, not having a disciplined schedule. But wow, this turned into like 40 minutes without us. I was trying to pay attention to it. I guess what's the real advice? Because we had more to talk about, but I think this is kind of a good stopping point. Where
Yeah.
what's the good advice? What's your practical advice for people about this?
I want, and we've talked about it in previous episodes, but I want to challenge people. I think that we, and it goes back to, kind of why we get up and do the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We want to do the podcast for them.
Mm-hmm.
We want to do the podcast. We want to talk about things that you guys want to hear about. We want to bring people in here that you guys are interested to hear from. So, give us some help, give us a little, constructive criticism like we talked about.
Yeah.
That's our challenge to you guys, is to almost challenge us.
Mm-hmm.
But also find something that you are deathly afraid to change in your routine for the better. That you're just like, that sounds terrible. Waking up at 5 a.m. to go work out.
Yeah.
Or let's say this, wake up at 5:30 to go work out at 5.
Yeah.
Because that's like a lot of times, the schedule Gabby and I were on for a little bit. And it's my fiance. And but find one of those things and make yourself do it for a week and turn that into 2 weeks and 3 weeks and a month. And just challenge yourself and make sure, it's got to be something that you're going to benefit from. Don't be like, I'm going to play Call of Duty every day for a month.
Well,
because
you're fucking dork if you play that. But yeah,
because it's just
that's a whole waste of life right there. But yeah, sure.
I just want one game. I haven't played in like 3 years. I just want one game. But find something to challenge yourself with. And if you need help, we'll help challenge you. Email us, comment. Someone's texting me right now telling me to play the guitar. In the back. That's a challenge you don't want, buddy. You do not want that challenge.
We can close out on that. You got anything?
Oh man, I got so much, but it's not on the guitar. I'll tell you that.
It's all Bob Seger. It's all Bob Seger covers.
Damn Bob Seger.
I know how you love Bob Seger.
So much. So
well,
yeah, I don't want to make it corny, but I want to somehow with some of our listeners start like a challenge accountability type thing that can help them in either their personal or their business lives. And I think health and what you eat does both of those. It tackles both of those types of things.
Yeah.
So I don't know what do you got for everybody?
No, I think that's as advice from this episode. Yeah. The takeaway is if you want to get involved, we want to get more engaged with the people that listen to this.
Yeah.
We don't have a crazy big audience, but the people that do, I really love the feedback, and I love hearing that people listen to it and kind of write down some of the stuff.
Oh yeah.
On a marketing advice, I'd say we going back to the social media stuff, and maybe you have to do it for your own personality. Maybe you want to be a fitness personality, or maybe you want to be a rapper, or seriously, like anything that's entertainment based, or that's going to be a brand that's about you. Here's the quote I heard from an old boss who's a very intelligent guy, one of the best businessmen I know and a mentor currently, that everything you do well is a marketing opportunity. And that everything that you part could be you personally, if you're the brand, if you're really trying to be a comic or an actor or a musician, or it's not even something entertainment based where you are trying to be a life coach, you're trying to be whatever, you're trying to be a brand as the human and the brand they equal each other, or you as the small business startup, the Scouting Block, for instance.
Yeah.
Everything y'all do well should be a marketing opportunity to push out. And that can be done by social media.
Yeah.
So I try to tell my clients that a lot. Everything you do well should be recognized. And it's not corny to tell people that you're working with this charity or you donate to this charity.
Yeah.
You should have a picture of that, because that's going to help that charity long term. It's not selfish, or there's a lot of braggadocious people out there.
Yeah.
And fine, but at the same time, a lot of people don't know you're doing these other things unless you let them know.
Right.
And there's a corny line where you can kind of.
Well, but when you're doing, and that's another thing for business, when you're doing charitable acts for business, guys, that's part of the game. Okay, is have your company, look good, giving back, a company that cares about the community. Yeah, that comes from the heart, but that's also a part of the game as far as, getting yourself good PR and helping the community. It's kind of a double-edged sword in a good way. But if you're a person who says, I don't want that kind of recognition, well, then you go on your own away from your company and do good.
Yeah.
And don't tell anyone about it. And that's the way I've always looked at it, because I used to have a real big problem with companies that'd be like, oh, we're out here, we donated this much money and this much time and effort. And it's like, yeah, but you did it because you needed a PR plug, And it's like, as I got more into business and more into like entrepreneurship, yeah, you need those things. You need to have a positive image, and helping people to get that positive image isn't a bad way to do it.
Also, tax write-off.
There are multiple perks. So go yourself if you're someone who does have a problem with it, because I used to be. It's just like, go yourself and help, and don't tell anybody. Do it away from your company, and you kind of ease that pain a little bit.
If anybody wants to ask me how you go about finding a charity for your business, you can email us. It's one of those things where that is something I do talk to clients about, your corporate social responsibility. It's kind of one of those business terms that's been real, like, just driven in your head if you've taken, general business classes or an MBA or whatever. But it is one of those things you need to focus it in an area where it's beneficial to them and it's beneficial to you. It's not narcissistic. It's not. It's got to be a mutually beneficial relationship. Mm-hmm. So we donate to Kila Institute for Women in a self-sufficient high school in Rwanda. We donate hours. You don't always have to donate cash.
Yeah.
You can just donate, like, if you're a service company like we are, and I can do it over Skype or Google Hangout and meet with people, I'm glad to do that. We also donate to indirectly through an event once a year in Tampa, through the Tampa Pig Jig on the river, for a kidney foundation called NephCure International. And so we donate a lot of hours for that event, and our goal is $1 million this year. But it also it's focused in one area. We're not spread across 10 things. We can only take on 1 or 2, maybe 3 a year to help that. But it not only does it feel good, but I learn a lot while we're doing it, and I'm in the mix with good people in the community that want to really help out. So there's multiple reasons, and so be healthy and be charitable, and I think we got to close it down. I think that's it.
I think that's it.
I know that was abrupt, but I've got a meeting after this. See y'all later. Make sure to subscribe. Just tell a friend. Tell your friend.
Don't even subscribe.
Yeah. If you don't listen to 3 episodes in a row, iTunes will just unsubscribe you or stop downloading the episodes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've noticed that, but if you like this, just send it to a friend. Hey, these are 2 guys that are doing this in what looks like a bunker, or some kind of bottle episode of Breaking Bad. But tell a friend that has that eye. The ones that are in the cubicle and accounts receivable, and they're like, I really want to open that coffee shop that does that cold brew stuff. This acidic key. But let's what's that green stuff again?
Matcha. Everyone check out matcha powder.
All right.
And mix it with lemonade.
All right, we out.
Yeah.